Greetings, fellow traders. Bubble here. It's time for the lunchtime market update for Tuesday, September the 29th, 2020. I hope everybody's having a great trading day today. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. All right, let's check and see where we are in the market here today. So SPX down 20 points. So kind of interesting there. Still dark cloud cover on the month. Weekly chart, again, it's still a narrow range right here as we're kind of trying to hold this this weekly hammer from last week. And we'll see what we have in store going here. Really kind of the big deal is that we have a kind of a pullback here off of the 50-day moving average, right? We really wanted to see us close strong over that yesterday, the day before. So it's kind of interesting today. The projected move from SPY actually gave us a couple nice short opportunities today. So we'll see how this open gap here holds on the SPX. Again, I do think that we're breaking out of this this corrective channel right here so far. I would like to have seen a more consistent move up instead of this gap because that leaves us down. But that gap up could be part of the bullish move. We might see a 382 or maybe a 618 retrace before this one starts to work its way back up again and possibly try to work on a fresh impulsive move. So generally we're overall leaning bullish, but again, short term here, I mean, we might still see a bearish pullback, which is why we capitalized that short today in a couple different ways. So SPY volume not really too much here today, but again, if we take a look at the S&P futures, we'll show you what we were looking at going into this morning, right? So this is kind of a big deal because last night we had an incredible push up, and really the way I look at it is that finished our wave 5 move to the upside from basically Friday, right? So when I look at this impulsive move up, this is kind of the count that I get on. I look here at a 1, 2, impulsive wave 3. Actually, this could have been wave 3 up here. So again, it could just be extended. So impulsive wave 3 up here, right? And then it looks to me like an expanded flat right here. So A, B, C, essentially triangle 4. And then we finished up with a wave 5 to the upside right here. Now we can move wave 3 down here and wave 4 right here is fine. And just kind of a crazy wave 5. However you do it is fine. This has definitely looked like the end of the impulsive move. Now it looks like we're correcting here again. So overnight we lost the upward trend line, and then at pre-market, right? So they took some meat off the bone there this morning, and then we chopped, right? So to me, this was looking a lot like a potential zigzag move down, right? Impulsive, ABC type move, and so to me, this was kind of a key area to hold here today, and it actually corresponded with a nice pullback here off of this initial wave up. But what we do is we take this, right? We duplicate this drawing right here and can kind of span it forward. And today we were looking for a projected down move right here all the way to get to the next signal zone low. Now we're starting to bounce off of here a little bit. But again, we still may test this signal zone here before trying to work our way back up. But really, this was the projected move going to the open. So we had a choppy open today. There was a couple nice moves, which we'll look at in a little bit. But we were really, after we got off the live stream this morning, we noticed how we had chop at the open. We expect some movement after that 10:30 range, and that's exactly what happened. So we got that move here. In fact, if you zoom in to the impulsive move down, if you go from here to the lows, right, what you'll see is it was about a 50% retrace off of these areas right here. So again, and also found resistance before the move down. If you didn't catch this one, that's okay, right? Because they give us more opportunities, right? So as long as we know what we're looking for. So we were expecting an impulsive move down, a breakdown below this signal zone, and we got that, right? So the initial move down right here was good, and then it gave us a 382 retrace for a great down move. Our futures group caught this 382, which is fantastic. And then even if you miss that one, there's still a potential for another wave down, right? This could be wave 1, 2. Again, 3, 4, it would have to be a truncated 5, but that is possible. And then here it gave us a 382 for another nice short off of this area for a nice down move right here. So again, don't have to catch every trade that's out there. We just have to know what's going on, right? So this is what we projected here this morning. So we'll see how that goes, see how it handles these levels. And again, it could reverse off here and start to work its way back up again. But to me, it looked like a zigzag type move, ABC, and I like how it kind of did this, right? And then kind of worked its way down off of that. So a nice move there off of the S&P futures here today. Let's take a look at the MES. So again, let's put some geometric lines up here. So we can have a few things to track. So again, from the down move right here, obviously to get super bullish again, we'd want to get above these levels. Again, kind of a channel type move right here. So again, we can kind of basically just look at it like this, right? So I mean, we're kind of bouncing off of that channel area right there going into the rest of the day. Let's take a look at the Qs. So the Qs were pretty interesting this morning. They also helped project the move down. We saw some relative weakness in some names. Apple this morning was a little bit weak, but then we saw some strength in some other ones. So it was a little bit tricky at the open, but the Qs kind of chopping around right here. Let's take a look at the IWM. Now the banks were week today, right? So JP Morgan, Bank of America, we'll take a look at a couple of those charts. We got some chart requests on those. So we'll take a look at those. But again, that's kind of bringing the IWM down a little bit as well. So let's take a look at a couple of the big names right here. So let's look at Apple. So Apple gave us some short opportunities at the open here today. Again, lots of Fibonacci's in here, but you kind of zoom in a little bit, right? Gave a nice move up, nice couple upper shadows right here, and gave a few retraces to get to the downside. Then it gave a big 618 retrace right here for another move down, then a 382, and then back down again, right? So nice moves on Apple this morning. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla was super strong. So a lot of our members like to trade Tesla right here. Some were looking at kind of a sideways cup and handle-ish type pattern like this, right? We got a nice breakout inside 5 for a good push up on Tesla, and Tesla loves to squeeze out the short, so it did that there today. So nice job so far on Tesla. And if you kind of look at the daily chart, right, you can see we're still just trying to reclaim that prior day's range. So good stuff there. Let's take a look. Another one this morning. Members did well on AMD at the open. We pointed out some relative strength on this one, and it gave a good burst to the upside at the open for a strong move. You can see the 5-minute chart was very nice here, and you could ride some of that momentum this morning too. It gave a nice retracement too for another move up, and then after that it gets a little bit tricky. But AMD's been a little bit tricky over the last couple days. SPCE with a nice, with a reasonable gap up this morning after a strong day yesterday, and it seems to be finding some strength in some of yesterday's levels. So that's definitely one to keep an eye on too. And then Snap is another one that we talked about this morning and wanted to keep on the bullish radar from yesterday, and it got a nice gap up here this morning for anybody who's trying that overnight. So good job there. And then finally, let's just take a look at JP Morgan. So again, JP Morgan, amazing day yesterday, but it kind of flipped the script today. Again, down move right here. Again, if you go from the pre-market highs, right, from here to here, right, there's about a 50% retrace off of those, and a lot of times that's where a lot of folks like to just go ahead and get out of their position if they're long, right, and then here's a good place for the bears to step up with an inside 5 to work its way back down here on JP Morgan. So good stuff. We got a few chart requests out there today. So DKNG, a few Tennessee Titan players had got tested positive for corona, so that sent that down a little bit right here. You got a retrace and another move down. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on. Again, this thing is highly volatile when it comes to news about sports. Netflix, let me type in the right one right there. Netflix with a kind of an interesting move here today. Again, we talked about this. We talked about yesterday's hammer. Right, gave a little bit of a push this morning, but then rejected by the cloud top in the 50-day. So a little bit of caution on that one. RKT. Rocket still kind of working its way back down here, guys. Kind of interesting, right? As there's an increased amount probably of mortgage applications that are out there as folks are moving out of the cities and trying to move into the suburbs to get away from the, well, if they don't have to work in the cities anymore, right, they can work from home, right? So that's kind of the concept right there. But RKT is still struggling right here. This is a great one to keep an eye on when we look at the overall mortgage picture, right? So this is a good gives you a good snapshot, right, of what's going on out there. So again, it's pretty new right here on the IPO. It's back in the original IPO range. It's kind of slowly taking an inside day down. Not a lot of volume going on this one right now, but kind of interesting there. Bank of America. Okay, big pullback right here. Okay, it filled the open gap. It kind of is bouncing a little bit off the inside day high, but this was bearish as well. In addition to JP Morgan, right? 50% retrace right here to try to get out, and then the bears stepped up again and broke the 15-hour blow and kind of keeping it below the 8-day moving average here today. So good stuff there. The airlines, right? American Airlines. So here's another one too. Nasty pullback here today. We've been expecting a pullback in these, but it gave such a big move yesterday, right? It's tough, but ended up turning into a reversal doji, filled the gap today for a nice move down on AAL. And lastly, let's take a look at Disney. So Disney down here, again, I think it's just going to wait. They need Mandalorian to kind of get this thing going again, right? So we all need Mandalorian. So anyway, kind of coming back down to a prior geometric level right here, back into the cloud, filled this open gap right here, still has this open gap above, so let's see if that holds. And if the market tries to get stronger, yeah, maybe Disney will try to rally. So good stuff, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys.